What's going on, everybody? The hard work is finally paying off. Forsaken Heroes working title. Uh, Playtest number 1 is coming at the end of the month. If you're already subscribed to our newsletter, you got an email today kind of detailing what to expect. And I thought, you know what, why not just make a video? Maybe somebody else will see this and want to subscribe. So I'm going to tell you right now, if this is something you're interested in, head over to astraldoorgaming.com. Link is in the description below, and right here, sign up for our newsletter, and then you'll get the updates and the play test and everything when it comes out. So for our first play test, it's coming here at the end of the month. I think 2 to 3 weeks, and it is going to have a strong emphasis on combat. Combat, we feel, is something that is pretty integral, and really the wording and everything really matters for combat, the rules and everything. And it kind of feels, if we can get the wording for that, a couple of classes, and have their abilities worked out so it makes sense, it's easier to build upon that and make everything else kind of flow. So for the first play test, there's going to be 4 pre-generated characters. This is just so we can get a good baseline, a good idea of how certain abilities will work against base template enemies, and kind of see how all that balancing works. So there's going to be the Warden, the Priest, the Magus, and the Warrior. So there's going to be those 4 pre-generated characters. You don't have to play all of them. You can play all of them. You can do whatever you want. We're just looking for that feedback and see what works and what doesn't. So with those 4 pre-generated characters, there's going to be a little mini adventure. There's going to be some RP aspects and stuff that just kind of fits in with the adventure, but a couple encounters and stuff to really balance and see what works and what doesn't. And then, so with the 4 pre-generated characters, the mini adventure, there's also going to be a very, very basic rule book. I think it came out to like 12 pages. So in that rule book, you're going to have some basic stuff, about resting, injuries, death, which it's a little bit more something to pay attention to in this game, I will say. It's not so easy as to watch your friend be knocked down 8 times in a row and then you just bonus action healing word. That's something that always really annoyed me about D&D. So our being knocked and death and stuff, got some rules on that. Our spellcasting system and the action economy system, again, all that combat stuff kind of flowing in together. There's also going to be a little bit of the basic armor, weapons, stuff like that. I keep mentioning that there is a bit more math involved in Forsaken Heroes, and that is because I don't like the binary approach that D&D had, where if you're wearing leather armor or you're wearing plate armor, you either get hit or you don't, and then you just take the damage. I understand it was supposed to be, for a broader audience. It's the rules are simpler, but we just wanted something a little bit more chunky, something a little bit more in depth. And so you'll get some rules and some of the basic items and armor lists. And in that you will find, if you're wearing plate armor, maybe you take a little less damage from melee swings. If you're wearing leather armor, you might be a little bit harder to hit with magic, stuff like that, a little bit quicker. So a lot of the weapons, a lot of the armor, I'm not saying that it's completely worked out and it's the way that it's going to be. I don't think any of this is the way it's necessarily going to be in the final product, but I think we have a good idea, there's something there. And I think we just need, the help of other people playing it and trying it out, and giving us some feedback to see how it really works outside our table. Um, and so with that, yeah, I think there's going to be quite a bit. You're going to be able to get it's basically going to be like a one shot um, that you can play test and try out. Got some new races, some interesting classes. You'll notice that the 4 pre-generated classes we're doing here are pretty basic. But I think if we get the basic ones balanced and worked out, the more interesting ones that we have, not more lore rich and stuff. Not that the warrior's not interesting, but some of the more customized classes that we've created. Uh, the balancing and everything will just kind of slide together better if we can get these 4 worked out. Also going to get the basic spell list, so you know what spells you can or cannot choose, and some character sheets. Kind of work in progress what we've got there. So there's quite a bit. There's quite a bit going on, and if this is interesting to you, definitely head over to the website. Link in the description below. Remember to like and subscribe this channel while you're down there, and sign up for the newsletter because this is happening really quick. This is coming up at the end of the month. It's already the 10th. I feel like it was just January when all this started happening. So it's kind of crazy the way that this worked out. We were already kind of discussing it, like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we did our own thing? And then everything with WotC happened, and it kind of gave us that shove that we needed to be like, hey, I think we can do this. Yeah, so that's kind of what to expect in the future. Once we get everything going, some more of the playtests will focus more on character creation and how we're gonna put our own spin on that. Some of the new races, the new classes, the way we've done our character building. But yeah, as long as we can get this combat down, I think a lot of it can kind of fall into place. I don't mean to take shots here. I love Kobold Press, but they are sticking to kind of like a 5.5e, if you will. So if you're looking, to break away from D&D, break away from 5e, this is definitely something you might be interested in. So it's a free play test. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't, man. It's cool. So I'm just asking you for you to give it a chance, give it a shot. And there was something else, I think. The enemies. So I've talked a little bit about how the enemy templates really easy to customize, drag and drop for GMs and whatnot. We are just using some of the pre-generated monster templates and stuff for the one shot. And so that'll also probably be another playtest where it is going through our template creation and the customization of the monsters and enemies and stuff that we have. So yeah, I mean, we've already got kind of a timeline that we're looking at. Get this done. We might do a second part of the combat playtest. And then we'll jump into, all the little things, character creation, the more GM centered stuff with like the enemy templates, designing dungeons, doing all that stuff. Yeah, I'm very excited. Very excited not only about the combat, but the way that the items, the armor and weapons and stuff are going to work. There's not going to be any magic items in this playtest. Those will come later. But I think just the way some of the armor works, I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be cool. Adding a little bit more, chunkiness to the combat. And with that too, as well, I feel like not necessarily, but a lot of the encounters might be not small, but you're not going to go up against 15 wolves. You know what I mean? You absolutely could if you wanted to. It just might take a little bit longer. But I think once you get kind of in the swing of it, you'll just instinctually remember like, oh, I'm wearing plate armor, so or I'm wearing leather armor or scale mail, whatever it is, and yeah, the math will just come. So really excited about this. There's big things coming. We are, just a couple of friends doing this. We've already gotten, this YouTube channel's already gone crazy the last 2 months. So I'm really excited about that. A lot of big things coming. Really excited. So website, sign up for the newsletter, and then you'll be getting the playtest here at the end of the month. After the playtest, real quick, we are going to have a form. We'll send it out after the playtesting closes, and it'll just, basic questions. What would you change? What do you like? What do you dislike? Could this be tweaked a little bit? How would you like to see it done? So just, some basic questions help us figure out and engage the game based off of your guys' experiences. Whew. Yeah, all that's coming up. So I will talk to you guys later. Until next time, friends.